It began with a war. A rivalry born not on the road, not in a showroom, but in the ashes of a collapsing world. Before the badges became symbols of luxury, before their engines roared across continents, before millions chose a side, there was only survival, and two German companies fighting to redefine themselves. This is the story of how a war-torn nation created the two most iconic rival car makers on the planet, and how their rivalry grew into a battle that shaped automotive history. Most people think BMW versus Mercedes started on the highway, that it was all about horsepower, comfort, or luxury. But the truth is far more dramatic. It began decades before the modern car existed, with aircraft engines, industrial machinery, and two men who never imagined that their creations would one day stand face to face in the greatest duel in automotive engineering. When Carl Benz rolled out the world's first gasoline-powered automobile in 1886, Germany changed forever. But even he couldn't foresee what would come next. Across the country, two engineers, Gustav Otto and Karl Rapp, were laying the foundations of an entirely different dream. Their companies, rivals even then, would later merge to become Bayerische Motor and Werke. BMW was born from innovation and speed, from the desire to push machines beyond what anyone thought possible. Meanwhile, Carl Benz and Gottlieb Daimler were chasing their own vision, not of speed, but of freedom. Their cars were designed to make life smoother, easier, and more elegant. Mercedes emerged as the symbol of refined engineering, a brand that believed luxury wasn't an accessory. It was the foundation. Two philosophies, two destinies, and one nation that would become the battleground for both. As World War I erupted, both brands changed forever. BMW built aircraft engines capable of climbing higher and faster than almost anything in the skies. Mercedes, already a respected automaker, continued refining its technology. But after Germany's defeat, strict treaties banned BMW from producing aircraft engines. In a moment of desperation, the company had to reinvent itself from the ground up. They shifted to producing household items, pots, pans, even bicycles. 80 kilometers away, Mercedes was building luxury cars for the world's elite, cementing its position as the pride of German engineering. But while Mercedes was rising, BMW was surviving. Their worlds were different, their customers were different, their fortunes were different. This imbalance became the fuel for the rivalry. Then came the 1920s, the era of roaring engines and global ambition. BMW returned to engine building and produced its first motorcycle, the R32. Its performance shocked the industry. Reliability, precision, and power. BMW had just announced its comeback. Mercedes responded with something even more breathtaking, the supercharged Mercedes-Benz SSK. It dominated racing circuits and terrified competitors with its raw strength. To the world, it became clear Mercedes was the king of luxury performance. BMW, however, wasn't scared. In 1936, BMW fired a shot that would echo for decades. The BMW 328, a lightweight, aerodynamic sports car that beat nearly everything on the track. For the first time, Mercedes felt BMW breathing down its neck. But history had other plans. World War II arrived, and this time the destruction would change both companies forever. BMW again returned to aircraft engines. Mercedes produced military vehicles and machinery. When the war ended, both brands were devastated, their factories bombed, their future uncertain. But this moment of weakness would become the spark that ignited their greatest rivalry. The 1950s were a rebirth. Mercedes returned with the breathtaking 300 SL Gullwing, a car so futuristic that even today it looks like it doesn't belong on this planet. Meanwhile, BMW struggled, nearly collapsing under financial pressure.
In fact, BMW was so close to bankruptcy that Daimler-Benz, Mercedes, attempted to buy them.
For a moment, BMW almost ceased to exist. But the employees fought back. The shareholders resisted. And a wealthy German family, the Quants, invested heavily, saving BMW from being absorbed by its greatest rival. It was a victory that defined BMW's identity forever. We will never be second to Mercedes. The 1960s became BMW's revenge decade. The company introduced the BMW Neue Klasse, sporty sedans that combined practicality with excitement. For the first time, a family car could also feel like a driver's car. The world fell in love. BMW had invented something new, the sports sedan. Mercedes noticed. Their cars were luxurious, safe, and refined, but now they looked slower, older, less emotional. BMW had taken the spotlight. The rivalry intensified on German autobahns. BMW owners were younger, hungrier, aggressive. Mercedes owners were established, classy, more mature. One brand represented ambition, the other represented a rival. In the 1970s, BMW unveiled the 3 Series, 5 Series, and 7 Series, a lineup that redefined their identity. Mercedes responded with the S-Class, a masterpiece of comfort, technology, and engineering leadership. The S-Class became the car that predicted the future. Every innovation, airbags, ABS, adaptive cruise control, appeared first in an S-Class before the world adopted it. BMW had performance, Mercedes had innovation, and both had something to prove. Then came Motorsport, and with it, a new battlefield.
BMW launched its legendary M division, creating monsters like the M1, M3, and M5. These cars weren't just fast, they were rebellious, loud, explosive, and brutally precise. BMW ruled touring car championships and earned a reputation for being the driver's choice. Mercedes answered with AMG, a small independent tuning company that built wild, aggressive machines. Their partnership grew until Daimler finally acquired AMG completely. The result? Cars like the AMG Hammer, the E55, and later the GTR. Powerful beasts with thunderous V8s. BMW had finesse. Mercedes had force. The 1990s and 2000s saw the rivalry explode globally. BMW's ultimate driving machine slogan reinforced their commitment to performance and precision. Mercedes countered with the best or nothing, an energy of luxury dominance. Car enthusiasts debated endlessly. BMW fans argued their cars were connected, alive, thrilling. Mercedes fans insisted theirs were sophisticated, solid, and timeless. But something unexpected happened in the 2010s. The world changed. Electric cars arrived, autonomous systems advanced, and younger generations wanted technology and sustainability, not just engines and exhaust notes. The battlefield had shifted once again. Mercedes took an aggressive lead with the EQ series, electric luxury vehicles designed to dominate the premium EV segment. BMW, who had shocked the world earlier with the i3 and i8, slowed down and lost momentum. Mercedes seemed ready to win the next era. But BMW wasn't done.
With new models like the i4, iX, and the upcoming next-gen EVs, BMW began fighting back, focusing on dynamics even in the electric age. Their message was clear. Even without gasoline, a BMW must feel like a driver's car. Mercedes, meanwhile, doubled down on tech-heavy luxury. Massive screens, ambient lighting, AI-driven systems, and ultra-silent interiors. Their vision? Electric cars that feel like executive lounges. 2 brands, 2 philosophies, still opposite, still battling. In the modern era, the rivalry has never been stronger. The Mercedes S-Class is still the king of luxury sedans. The BMW 7 Series fights back with sharper design and bold technology. The BMW M5 battles the Mercedes E63 AMG for the title of performance sedan supremacy. The BMW X5 and Mercedes GLE fight for dominance in the luxury SUV world. Even in compact sedans, the BMW 3 Series and Mercedes C-Class continue their eternal duel. It's no longer just a rivalry, it's a cultural divide. BMW is emotion, agility, and performance. Mercedes is elegance, comfort, and power. BMW is the edge of youth. Mercedes is the voice of experience. BMW says, feel the road. Mercedes says, rule the road. And the truth? The world needs both. Because when two giants compete, innovation never stops. Every new model, every new engine, every new idea is born not just from inspiration, but from rivalry. A rivalry that began with war. A rivalry that survived collapse, reinvention, and reinvention again. A rivalry that continues shaping the automotive world every single day. From the autobahns of Germany to the cities of America, from racetracks to luxury suites, from gasoline to electricity, BMW and Mercedes carry their legacy into the future, still shoulder to shoulder, still wheel to wheel, still fighting for the same crown. And no matter how technology changes, no matter how silent the engines become, no matter how autonomous cars get, one thing will always remain unchanged. The German rivalry that defined a century will continue into the next century.